appears to be pretty clear right now. BJPenn.com is telling us we're going to get Gaethje versus Oliveira. Now, welcome to duh. That's the fight that we were told we were going to get. That's the right fight to make, being as we had a number one contenders match won by Gaethje and we had a world title fight won by Oliveira, but it got weird. It got weird and there was some gamesmanship and you start inserting the return of McGregor, red panty night, very real thing of which Oliveira was happy to admit to. So we had a little bit that we had to shake off there, but it's been removed. That's the match we're going to get. Okay. Hold that thought because you just took two players off the board. You still have the other pieces still out there, which is the return of McGregor. What's next for Nate Diaz? And does Poirier become a 170-pounder? Those three things stay out there remaining. If we're to make the assumption that one of them is going to lose and two of them is going to get a massive fight with each other, which two is it going to be? Because Nate Diaz and Dustin Poirier are in a fight right now. For sure, make no mistake. They are in a fight over who gets Conor. Now, how do you settle that? Dustin Poirier has some work to do. The first thing he has to do is explain what he's doing up there at 170. And that is along the vein, if Dustin is going to fight Nate for this opportunity. He's going to have to explain that he is now a 70-pounder and what's he doing here. And the story is not going to be as good, believable, or effective if it's just a one night. One night I didn't want to cut weight because that's how the audience sees it. If a 55-pounder has a major opportunity, he goes up to 170, but he's not staying there, he's going back to 55, that's okay. That's not anything wrong with it, but the audience now doesn't see the sincerity. He's not serious about this. He's not growing into this weight class. This isn't a reformation. This isn't something that can affect the rankings or the future of the division. There's just something that's more off-putting than if Dustin was to say, I am now a 70-pounder. Bring me someone you got. Oh, you got Diaz? Let's go. That story's a little better. And I know we're splitting hairs here, but this is going to be a very tough one. It's a tough one. If you had the power, you had some magic wand, you could wave over this whole thing. And I told you, all right, pick Conor's next opponent and pick it between Nate Diaz and Dustin Poirier. You'd be in a really hard spot. You wouldn't jump out of your chair and throw your name in right now. You'd sit back and you'd think about it and you'd probably change your mind a couple of times and you'd call a buddy. Right? It's one of those things. So while I might be splitting hairs about what is Dustin doing at 170, we're in a game of inches here. And every single bit matters. And Dustin and Nate are in a battle. Now, Dustin and Nate, while being in a battle over who gets Conor, seem like they've already figured it out. I'm just going to fight you. And forget about Nate's contract and where he's at. If you think we can do it down the road, hold that thought. I'm just saying the two principles in this, Diaz and Poirier look like they've already got it figured out. But then you have Conor. What's Conor going to do? If those two guys fight, does Conor just wait? He takes on the winner. Does Conor go and do something else? Who do you want to serve the most here? You got one left with Nate Diaz, which is going to be a very hard night. If that's a hard night for me to even envision. And I know that you guys are there with me. The weigh-in is special when Nate's there. The fight is special when Nate is there. The post-fight is special when Nate is there. If that was Nate's last time, I can still remember, guys, as a fan, what it was like seeing Daniel Cormier compete for the last time. That was hard. There was something amazing about it, but there was this letdown that he was going to be gone. So Nate Diaz's last fight, I mean, you've got something special that deserves to be done just right. Poirier versus Conor works. I understand that. But part 4 is a little weird. Part 4 is a little weird, particularly when 2 and 3 didn't have a single round won by Conor. It was very uncompetitive. And Conor being out and Conor being hurt, and Conor's got to give us a little more info too. He's putting pictures out. He's 190 pounds. Is he planning on stopping by 170? Is he planning on going back to 55? And it kind of just depends on the day that you talk to him. Conor has been for a meaningful period of time and will live the rest of his career on the same spot, the same unique spot that he monopolizes, which is whatever he does is going to work. Does Conor have the same pursuit of getting back to a world championship? Because if that answer is yes, he has to pick a division. We saw that more recently with Khamzat Chimaev. He can kick ass in 2 different weight classes. He can win every round of every exchange he has in 2 different weight classes, but you got to pick one. If you want to go on a title run, you got to pick a spot. So we do need a little bit more information from Conor, but set Conor aside because he does appear to be in the driver's seat. How are Nate and Dustin going to handle this? Would they like to bypass each other, get the media rolling, get everything on Conor, have Conor take the bait, off you go? Or when you have a dispute, do they want to settle it the old-fashioned way, which is we will just get in there under the unified rules and the winner takes all? I don't know. I don't have that answer. But the fact that the fact that Gaethje versus Oliveira is a go does remove what Conor's going to do next, at least a little bit. 2 players have come off the board, but 3 storylines remain out there, and they are untouched. Nate Diaz has been extremely consistent. From November till now, I'm ready tonight, and I do not care who the opponent is. And he's going to do it at 170 pounds. I mean, he's told us a lot of what you need to satisfy him, which right now looks very easy to do. Poirier has not told us yet, is he a 55-pounder or a 70-pounder? You guys might recall about 3 weeks ago, but as one of these segments, as part of the program for a little piece of theater, I called Dustin Poirier in front of you all. And I was going to ask him that question. He didn't answer the phone, but he saw the piece, and he sent me a text message. And he said, Chael, I'm not ready to answer the question because I don't know. That answer was perfectly fine. Because at the time that this happened, we were less than 2 weeks removed from his world title fight. He does not owe anybody an answer, and the fact that he hasn't internalized it yet, and he's just exhaling a little bit, makes sense. But as we start getting this thing going, Poirier's in a fight right now with Nate Diaz, right now. Are they going to fight to try to get in there with each other? If so, what's on the line? If they're not, and they're in a fight to bypass each other, what's their strategy going to be, how they're going to do it, and who do you plan to side with?